My name is Valerie Monroe, 26 years old. I guess I should have seen the signs earlier, but love makes you blind, right? I had been with Marcus for 3 years. We lived separately, but we were practically attached at the hip. Or at least, that was what I believed, until one ordinary Tuesday evening, while I was waiting for my pasta water to boil, I opened Instagram and felt my stomach turn cold. Our beach trip from last month was gone. His birthday dinner, where he wore the navy shirt I bought him and smiled like I was the only woman in the room. Gone. Even our ridiculous Halloween costume from last year had disappeared. Every little proof that I had existed beside him had been wiped clean. "Babe?" I called him, trying to keep my voice light. "Did you delete our photos?" He laughed, but not his normal laugh. It was too quick, too sharp. The kind of laugh people use when they have already prepared a lie. "Oh my God, Val, stop being paranoid. I'm just cleaning up my profile. Too many old photos cluttering everything." "But some of those were from last month." "Seriously?" His voice hardened. "You're tracking my social media now? That's really controlling. Maybe focus on your own life instead of obsessing over Instagram." That hit harder than I expected. Not because it made sense, but because he said it with such confidence that, for a second, I felt ashamed for noticing. That is how gaslighting works. It does not slap you across the face. It gently takes your hand and walks you away from your own instincts. "You're right," I said quietly. "I'll stop." "Good. Love you. I've got to go. Jenna needs help with something." Jenna was his roommate. Sweet girl. Worked at a local bookstore. Always smelled faintly like coffee and paperbacks. We had hung out plenty of times, and I had always liked her. After hanging up, I sat there staring at my phone while the pasta boiled over behind me. 3 years together, and suddenly I was paranoid for noticing he had erased our relationship from public view. No, something was wrong. So I did what any heartbroken person pretending to be calm does. I checked everything. Tagged photos. Hidden. Friends' posts mentioning me. Hidden. His relationship status still said in a relationship, but it was no longer linked to my profile. I stared at that tiny detail longer than I should have. It felt like finding my name scratched off a mailbox before anyone told me I had to move out. I could have confronted him again, demanded answers, but why? He would only twist it until I was apologizing for having eyes, so I decided to play along. The next morning, Marcus posted a gym selfie. Fresh haircut, fitted tank, caption about discipline and summer goals. The comments came fast. One caught my eye. Tessa Blake. Looking dangerous as always. I clicked her profile. CrossFit girl. Perfect ponytail. Smooth smile. Expensive gym sets. She had been liking every one of Marcus's recent posts for about 3 weeks, exactly around the time our photos started disappearing. Every photo without me had her little heart under it. Every trace of me had been removed like I was a stain before company arrived. Thursday evening, I was grabbing takeout from our usual Thai place when I ran into Jenna. She looked uncomfortable the second she saw me. "Hey," she said softly. "Getting dinner for you and Marcus?" "Just me tonight. He said he's working late." Her face did this tiny flicker, like she had almost reacted and caught herself too late. "Everything okay?" I asked. She glanced around like Marcus might appear behind the pad thai display. "Can we talk?" "Not here." We ended up at the coffee shop next door. Jenna sat across from me, nervously shredding a napkin into tiny white pieces. "I hate being in the middle of this," she said, "but you've always been kind to me. And this feels wrong. Just tell me." She swallowed. "Marcus has been talking to a woman from his CrossFit class. Tessa. He keeps telling people you two are basically over, just haven't made it official yet." The room went quiet around me. "He said that multiple times. He says you're growing apart, different goals, all that. But then you come over and he acts completely normal with you. I honestly didn't know what was real anymore." "When did it start?" "Maybe a month ago. He started going to the gym more, dressing nicer, always checking his phone, laughing at messages like a teenager." I thanked her, but my voice sounded far away, like it belonged to someone else. Jenna looked guilty, almost scared. Are you okay? I wanted to say yes. Instead, I stared into my coffee and realized I had been mourning a relationship that Marcus had already started burying. Friday came. Marcus texted that he was having a guys' night with coworkers. Sure, whatever. I spent the evening updating my resume just to feel like I had control over something. Then Jenna texted, I'm so sorry. He just left wearing the black jacket you bought him for your anniversary, said coworkers. But Tessa posted a story at a rooftop bar downtown. You deserve better. She was right. I opened Instagram. My fingers hovered for 1 second. Then I changed my relationship status too. In a relationship with Jenna Martinez. Was it petty? Absolutely. Was it impulsive? Maybe. But after 3 years of loyalty, after being erased in slow motion while he test drove someone new, I wanted Marcus to feel one tiny fraction of the confusion he had handed me. Then I grabbed a beer, sat on my couch, and waited for the fireworks. It took exactly 23 minutes. Exactly 23 minutes after I changed my relationship status, my phone exploded. The first text came from Marcus. What the hell is this? Then another. Take it down. Right now. Another. How dare you drag Jenna into your childish games? Then the call started. 1, 5, 11, 18. I ignored every single one. At 11:47 that night, someone pounded on my apartment door hard enough to shake the picture frames. My roommate, Olivia, peeked into the hallway. You expecting someone? I think I know exactly who it is. I opened the door. Marcus stood there breathing heavily, wearing the black jacket I'd bought him for our anniversary. His hair was messy, his expensive cologne mixed with a sweet perfume that definitely wasn't mine. You've lost your mind, he shouted. I folded my arms. Nice jacket. Fun night with the guys? He pushed past me into the apartment. Don't change the subject. Explain the Jenna thing. What is there to explain? You changed your relationship status. You told me I was crazy for caring about social media. I stopped caring. His jaw tightened. You're dating my roommate. According to Jenna, we were basically over already. You just hadn't bothered telling me. For a second, every ounce of color disappeared from his face. What? She told me everything. His eyes darted away. She misunderstood. So you haven't been spending time with Tessa? Silence. You didn't go to that rooftop bar tonight? His eyebrows lifted. Who told you that? I didn't ask who. I asked if you did. His voice sharpened. You've been spying on me. No. I looked him directly in the eyes. I just stopped believing every lie you told me. His expression shifted instantly. His shoulders relaxed. His eyes became glossy. The tears appeared almost on command. Val, he whispered. Babe, you've got this all wrong. I almost laughed. 3 years together had taught me every version of Marcus. Confident Marcus, funny Marcus, flirty Marcus, victim Marcus. This one was victim Marcus. Tessa is just a friend. Then why erase me? I already explained that. No. I shook my head. You gave me an excuse, not an explanation. The tears disappeared. Just like someone had turned off a faucet, he stared at me for several long seconds before finally saying the one thing I knew I would never forget. You've become predictable. The words landed harder than I expected. What? Every Friday is takeout. He shrugged. Every Saturday is movies. Every vacation is planned months ahead. I know exactly what you're going to say before you say it. Tessa, he smiled slightly. Makes me feel alive. For a moment I couldn't breathe. 3 years. Reduced to boring. I took you to the coast last month. Public beaches aren't exactly luxury. I surprised you with concert tickets. They weren't VIP. I supported you when you lost your job. He didn't answer. Because there wasn't an answer. Instead, he looked toward the floor. I just wanted to see where things went. There it was. The truth. You were keeping me around. I wasn't. You were. I stepped closer. You wanted to try with Tessa. If she chose you, you'd dump me. If she didn't. I smiled sadly. You'd come back to your safe option. His silence confirmed everything. I was going to tell you eventually. When? When I figured things out. So I was your backup plan. Don't make it sound like that. What should I call it? He couldn't answer. I walked to my front door and held it open. Leave. We're not finished. We are. You can't end 3 years because of one misunderstanding. This wasn't one misunderstanding. I looked at him calmly. It was a month of lies. A month of deleting me. A month of auditioning my replacement. His jaw clenched. You really think Jenna wants you? I smiled. I don't know. But at least she respected me enough to tell me the truth. His face twisted with anger. She broke girl code. I couldn't help laughing. Relationship code says you don't secretly date another woman while you're still with your girlfriend. That's different. No. It's exactly the same. He pointed toward my phone. Take down that relationship status. Why? Because people will think it's real. And? You can't date Jenna. I forbid it. That made Olivia burst out laughing from the kitchen. You forbid it? I repeated. That's rich. Marcus realized how ridiculous he sounded, but doubled down anyway. She's my roommate. And I was your girlfriend. Were. The word echoed between us. His face hardened. This isn't over. It is. I closed the door. He hit it once with his palm before finally walking away. Seconds later, my phone buzzed. Jenna. He's back. He just walked into the apartment looking like someone stole his dog. Another message followed. Jenna. He says you manipulated me. I smiled for the first time all week. Me? Did I? 3 dots appeared, disappeared, appeared again. Finally, Jenna. No. Actually, was the relationship status just revenge? Or... I stared at the screen longer than I expected. The honest answer surprised even me. Me? It started as revenge, but I've always thought you were kind. Would you maybe like to grab coffee tomorrow, without the drama? Almost immediately, Jenna. I'd like that. Then another message. Fair warning. Marcus is threatening to kick me out if I keep talking to you. Can he do that? Me. Isn't your name on the lease? Yep. Then I guess he's about to discover he doesn't control everything. Sunday afternoon, we met at a quiet cafe across town. Without Marcus around, Jenna felt completely different. Relaxed. Funny. She teased me for ordering caramel in my coffee. I teased her for carrying 3 different bookmarks in one novel. We talked for 3 hours. Not about Marcus. About music. About horror movies. About childhood dreams. About why she secretly baked cookies whenever she was stressed. Somewhere during the second cup of coffee, I caught myself laughing so hard my stomach hurt. It felt strange. Only 48 hours earlier, I thought my entire future had collapsed. Now I was remembering what it felt like to breathe. As we walked outside, Jenna looked at me carefully. You know. What? I think he underestimated you. I think he underestimated both of us. She smiled. Neither of us noticed the black SUV parked across the street. Inside, Marcus watched us together, and judging by the expression on his face, he wasn't planning to let us move on peacefully. Jenna was right. Marcus wasn't finished. By Monday morning, his social media was full of vague posts about betrayal, fake loyalty, and women who prey on broken relationships. Anyone who didn't know the truth would have thought he was the victim. I ignored it. Then the anonymous texts started. Stay away from Jenna. You think you've won? Just wait. I blocked every number, but new ones kept appearing. Thursday afternoon, I walked out of work and froze. A long scratch ran across the driver's side of my car, from headlight to taillight. My neighbor's security camera caught someone in a hoodie, but the face couldn't be identified. I couldn't prove it was Marcus. I didn't need to. That same evening, Jenna sent me photos from their apartment. Marcus had printed screenshots of our text messages and taped them all over her bedroom door. Across each page, he had written in red marker, "Liar. Fake friend. Homewrecker." Even in his rage, he had used washable markers because he didn't want to lose the security deposit. The irony almost made me laugh. The next day, my manager called me into his office. Someone contacted Human Resources. My stomach dropped. They claimed you've been stalking your ex, showing up at his gym, harassing him. They even said police reports had been filed. None of it was true. Fortunately, my manager already knew I had been working late on every date mentioned in the complaint. Document everything, he advised. The story doesn't match the facts. Marcus wasn't just angry. He wanted to destroy my reputation. That evening, Jenna called. "You need to come over tomorrow." What happened? He invited Tessa over for dinner. I blinked. Seriously? He actually asked me to disappear for the evening because he deserved privacy in his own home. I smiled slowly. "What did you tell him?" "I said I'd be out." She paused. "But I never said I'd be alone." Saturday evening, I arrived carrying Chinese takeout and a bottle of wine. Marcus opened the apartment door. The color drained from his face. "What are you doing here?" Jenna invited me. "No." She didn't. "I absolutely did," Jenna answered from the kitchen while grabbing 2 plates. Marcus looked like he wanted to scream. "Tessa will be here in an hour." "Great," I said. "I hope she likes orange chicken." We carried dinner into Jenna's bedroom, but intentionally left the door slightly open. Maybe it was petty. After everything Marcus had done, neither of us felt guilty. At exactly 7:23 p.m., the front door opened. Tessa arrived. We heard Marcus laughing far louder than normal. Then his voice. "Sorry about my roommate situation." A few minutes later, another voice floated down the hallway. "Wait." Tessa sounded confused. "I thought you told me you were single." "I am." "No, you said you didn't have a girlfriend." "We broke up weeks ago." There was a long silence. Then Tessa spoke again. "That's funny. Your relationship status only changed to single 6 days ago." Another silence. Painfully awkward. Marcus stumbled over his words. "It's complicated." "Is it?" Tessa continued. "Because you're still living with the woman whose roommate is apparently dating your ex." Marcus laughed. "Rose, you're not really dating." Jenna looked at me. Without saying a word, she reached over and took my hand. Then she raised her voice just enough for the living room to hear. "Actually," she smiled. "We are dating." The apartment became completely silent. Heavy footsteps approached. Tessa appeared in the bedroom doorway. She looked at me, then at Jenna, then back toward Marcus. "So," she said calmly, "you lied to me." Marcus hurried after her. "Tessa, let me explain." "What exactly are you explaining?" "That you hid your girlfriend while trying to date me? That you kept her around in case I wasn't interested? I don't date people who treat relationships like job interviews." Marcus reached for her arm. She stepped back. "I'm done." Without another word, she walked out. The front door slammed. Marcus stood frozen in the hallway. Everything he had been juggling had crashed to the floor at once. Then he turned toward me. "This is your fault." I slowly stood. "No. This happened because you wanted 2 women choosing you at the same time. You ruined my chance. You ruined it yourself." I took 1 step closer. "I gave you 3 years. I gave you honesty. I gave you loyalty. You gave me manipulation. You erased me from your life before you had the courage to end the relationship." His face tightened. Then he turned on Jenna. "You're supposed to be my friend." She folded her arms. "Friends don't lie. Friends don't threaten each other. Friends don't try to destroy someone's career because they got caught." For the first time that night, Marcus had nothing to say. The silence said everything. Within days, screenshots of the harassment on Jenna's bedroom door spread through their friend group. The anonymous HR complaint became common knowledge after the investigation cleared me completely. People who had believed Marcus's version of events quietly disappeared. Others apologized. 8 days later, Marcus packed his belongings and moved back in with his parents. He told everyone he needed space to heal. No one argued. Jenna and I helped carry boxes not because we owed him anything, but because we wanted the chapter closed as quickly as possible. A week later, she brought her record player to my apartment. Saturday nights became horror movies, homemade chocolate chip cookies, and arguing over which vinyl album sounded best. Nothing dramatic, nothing complicated, just peaceful. One evening, my phone buzzed. Marcus. His first message since moving out. I hope you're happy. I looked across the couch. Jenna was wearing one of my oversized sweatshirts while laughing because she had just beaten me at trivia for the 3rd week in a row. I smiled, snapped a quick selfie of the two of us making ridiculous faces, and sent it. Yeah, we really are. Looking back, the best revenge was never changing that relationship status. It wasn't exposing Marcus in front of Tessa. It wasn't watching his lies collapse. The real victory was realizing I no longer needed someone who had to erase me in order to imagine a better future. Because the right person doesn't hide your existence. They make room for you in every part of their life.